Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in viewerland, and welcome to the Friday edition of The Rundown. We are coming to you live today, as we always do. I am coming to you from the East Coast studios. The East Coast is the coast with the most. I am your host today, Mike Peworski.
And I will be your co-host today, your co-pilot, your compadre, coming to you from the left coast, from behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras in California. I am Craig DeLuz.
From behind the lines, there he is back there.
That would be me. From the belly of the beast, no less.
There you go, just like that. So how's things out there in California today? How are you doing today?
We're chilling. The legislature's not in session, which means we're relatively safe. We just have to look and see what Gavin Mussolini is doing today, or what proclamations he may be doing. Although he is now out of the country, so we have some person who is the lieutenant governor who nobody actually knows who she is. Right. Now kind of running things, and so far she hasn't done anything that's pissed me off yet.
I'm betting there's very little more she can do to screw it up worse.
I keep saying that, and then Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, right. Then you got the Green Pepper Firearm Act or some crap like that he comes up with. Like, You can't have guns if you own green peppers. What are you talking about? Just
pretty much.
Idiot, so.
If you like green peppers now, come on.
Well, sure. But all of a sudden, you pick green pepper. Now you're discriminating against green peppers for some reason. It's just,
that's how we do here in California. We discriminate.
Exactly right. Yep.
Intimidate and discriminate. That's what we do.
There you go. It's the California way.
It really is. Well, it's funny. They always say California, the land of fruits and nuts.
That's it. Yep, you got them all, and you got plenty of them. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Any plans for the weekend? What's going on this weekend with you?
Well, it is Halloween weekend, so we'll probably be taking the granddaughter out doing some trick or treating. Then probably, like I said, I have another weekend where I really don't have anything constructive that I have to do, which is once again a good thing.
Nice. I'm going to a country music concert this weekend.
Country and Western.
We got both kinds of music here, country and Western. Yeah, yeah. Country. I mean, I've listened to country. I'm not opposed to country, so I got asked to go, and it seems like a really nice event. Some good friends. So we're gonna go get our country on.
Well, it used to be very American music. Now you got a bunch of anti-gunners. Not all of them, but too many anti-gunners in country music, and it's you always got to kind of check and find out. Okay, who's playing? And just because they're country don't mean they're American.
Well, I mean, didn't that get solved with the Dixie Chicks, right? When the Dixie Chicks were against the war, and the rest of the country music world said, "We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Well,
we got a chance here."
But you still have, for example, you still have Florida Georgia line that's anti-gun, or at least one of them is.
I think that's the Georgia part, not the Florida part. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it might be the Florida part, because we did go get anti-gun there 2-3 years ago. So. But we're going to do that. I asked my friend, I said, do I have to wear a cowboy hat? Because I got one. He said, are you going to wear shorts? I said, yeah. He said, then don't wear the cowboy hat. So I guess there are rules. So
you can't wear shorts with a cowboy hat?
I guess not. I guess not. So it's Florida still. I'm wearing shorts,
Let's be frank. If I paid for the shorts and I paid for the cowboy hat, I'll wear them together if I want. In fact, I'll wear nothing but the two if I want, because I paid for them.
If that's true, then there'd be an awful lot of crazy outfits going on out there. Well, I paid for this. I paid for this bikini top, and I'm not paid for this Trojan Man hat, so I'm going to wear them.
Clearly, you don't spend a lot of time in Walmart.
Well, where do you think you get this kind of stuff?
It's happening, sir. It is out there. It is happening.
This is where you get that stuff,
Well, you got people walking around in spandex, making their butt look like a sack of wet laundry. I mean,
yeah, but they're comfortable when I work out.
Yeah, but not everything is for everybody.
Well, you just said if you had the money and you could buy it.
Well, but we also get to talk about you. You can wear it, but we also get to talk about you. If you wear it in public, then we get to talk about you.
There you go. Yep.
You don't get to tell me what I can and can't wear, but you do get to criticize me when I wear it.
There you go. All right. Fair enough. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's talk. Let's get into a little bit of the news here. We got a bunch of stuff we want to cover today. Can't wait to get to some of these items here on the list. Craig, this one dumbfounds me, and I know you've got a little bit more into this one than I do. The president is currently looking at, and now I'm curious if this is under the infrastructure bill or not. I didn't see that in there, so I'm curious. But those people that those illegal immigrants, those ones that are coming across the border illegally, whether it's as the parents, claimed parents, or as the children themselves that are without their parents, if they were separated at the border, they're going to be eligible for $450,000 in money from the government. Is that right?
$450,000, sir. They want to give that to the families to up to $1 million per family. So it'd be per child, and then so if you had multiple children, it would be if you have multiple children, then if you had two children, it would be $900,000. If you know, and obviously if you have more than that, it would be up to $1 million. But basically, he wants to make millionaires out of folks who, by the way, all President Trump did was follow the law. You know, the law that was in place, the Obama era law that existed and was in place. Yep. All he did was follow that, right?
Yes.
And now they want to say that they want to remove. They want to give them almost $500,000. This is crazy. It is beyond crazy. So imagine this: someone breaks into your house, right?
Yeah.
You catch them, they get arrested, they go to jail, and now you have to pay them $450,000 because, well, you know, they couldn't see their children when they were breaking into your house because they got arrested for breaking into your house. Mike, does that make any sense to you?
Listen, I am going to the border. I'm going to go down to, maybe I'll fly into Mexico City, have a little week's vacation, and then I'm going to drive with my family to the American border. And when we get there, we're going to all three run in different directions. They can confine us for a week or so until I go, oh, here's my U.S. passport. I forgot I had that, and I forgot I spoke English. And we'll take our $450,000 a piece now. Thank you. Because you separated us.
Yeah, but the problem is you're here legal. You're a legal citizen, so you don't.
No, but I'm going to illegally cross the border.
But you're a legal citizen, so plus you're white, so therefore,
yes,
you get no money. If you're white or Haitian, you get nothing.
I'm going to come across the border illegally.
Look, if you are white or Haitian, you get nothing.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Haitian, you get ignored. You get.
Them and the Cubans are the only people we're actually deporting.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah. That's just that's this administration. They're because they don't want Cubans because Cubans will vote Republican, and they don't want Haitians because they're the wrong color. They don't want.
Right. Well, have you seen Haiti?
Yeah, or what's left of Haiti. Yeah. Yes,
well, that's the thing is if immigrants. And that's part of the challenge is it used to be if you immigrated to the United States, the goal was to become American and to assimilate into an American so that you can enjoy all that America has to offer. Nowadays, though, it's more like, okay, I'm going to go to America, but then I want to bring what destroyed the country or destroyed the country where I'm from. I want to bring that with me, right? So instead of having, like, for example, Mexican Americans, you've now got Mexicans in America, or instead of being Brazilian Americans, you now have Brazilians in America. Right. And my whole point is that didn't work. It didn't work out real well where you're from. So why do you want to institute it here, where things are working, or at least were working pretty darn well?
It's hard. We see that from country to country, state to state too, right? We still see it. We talked about this yesterday. If you want to move from California to Texas, leave your California politics behind. But that's just the way it goes. And Haiti's that's been a horrible run government for decades and decades, right? Going back to Papa Doc, right? If you've ever looked at, and I encourage you folks, get the Google Earth out or even Google Maps on your phone and do a satellite image of Haiti, which is half the western side is Haiti, the eastern half is Dominican Republic. And there's a fence that runs north to south over the mountain pass there.
You mean a wall?
Well, it's not even a wall.
Right.
It's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
But look at how green it is and healthy to the east, and how brown and downtrodden it is to the west. I mean, that's literally been government oppression there, to where they've scrubbed their half of the island of all of its natural resources, to include its trees. There's nothing left to the west, and the eastern half is a healthy thriving island. So it's I get why the Haitians want to come here, and absolutely believe that they should be qualified for trying to get out from an oppressive regime and a country that has no future.
Right. But anybody who wants to come here, just like anybody who wants to leave California or New York and go to Texas or Florida, needs to understand there's a reason why those are desirable places to live.
Yeah.
Stop trying to get rid of the things that have made them desirable. You may not like them ideologically, but guess what? It works.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, handing out $450,000 to people who illegally entered the country is not part of that scheme. That don't work.
Right. Yeah, Craig, the next topic, let's roll right into this one, is the NAACP. They do not want students, African American students, to go to Texas because of the new Texas laws concerning voting, and they believe that Texas, I guess, is a racist state. Now, I'm curious how the NAACP would react if Haitians wanted to go to into Texas. Now, listen, the Islanders, they're not African American. In fact, they call themselves. They have a special term. I was just down that way, and I can't recall what it is. But they don't consider themselves African American. They're Island American, something or something like that. Islanders. So different category. So again, I'm curious if because, just like we looked at the last issue, Haitians have black skin, does that mean they're going to be immediately discriminated against, or do they get a pass because they're not African Americans? I wonder if the NAACP would let anybody else move there that may be discriminated against, because this is ridiculous. Now you've got top colleges. How many top colleges we got down there in Texas for
No. Let us be clear. They're not just talking about college athletes.
Yeah.
They're talking about professional athletes.
Yes.
They're trying to discourage professional athletes from signing on teams in Texas. Now, I'm sorry, even being from California, I'm sorry, but between Florida and Texas, the capital of football is in one of those two states.
Right.
So let's be clear. You can say what you want. People can say what they want about Texas, but most of the top athletes in Texas are from Texas. So,
well, you get a lot of that in Florida as well.
Right. Well, exactly. Well, that's the reason why how Georgia started to become really successful in football again was they started recruiting in Florida.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
But but it's not even that. It's the other thing to note is that one of the laws that they cite as a reason why they should boycott was the abortion law. And I'm like, you do realize that Planned Parenthood, you do realize that abortion, quote unquote, abortion rights was actually designed as a part of what was known as eugenics, which was to control the populations of undesirable people.
Yep.
And that included, by the way, black people of color. And now all of a sudden you're like, well, because they have a law that protects a life in the womb. And by the way, NAACP, the group that is most likely to be aborted are black babies in the womb. 35% of all abortions, even though African Americans only make up about 10 to 12% of the overall population, they make up 35% of all abortions, right? Over 80, almost 90% of all abortion clinics are in low-income communities, right? In black communities, in Latino communities. And you are here to tell me that, if you have a law that protects life in the womb, that all of a sudden that makes you a racist? No. I'm not buying it, sir. I'm not buying it. I think the NAACP is an arm, a wing of the Democratic Party.
Yes.
I think they are full of a bunch of Marxists. I'm not saying they're all Marxists.
Yes.
But they have bought the Marxist line, hook, line, and sinker, and are nothing but a tool of those folks.
Yeah, yeah. And it was Afro-Caribbean. I could not place that before to save my life. So the Islanders, the dark-skinned Islanders originally from Africa, Afro-Caribbeans. So
Afro-Caribbean.
Afro-Caribbean is what.
Well, there's just so many different. There's I hate to say this, but it's like it's hard to know. Okay, what's the proper term we're supposed to use now?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Is it African American? Is it black? Yeah. Is it Afro Caribbean? Is it diaspora African? Is it colored? Is it Negro? Yeah. I mean,
yeah. No, you got to double check, right? Right. Listen, that was half of Dave Chappelle got in trouble for, right? He didn't know what to call the people, right?
Right. Call them the alphabet people. What's that? Oh, different people.
Right. Yep. Yeah. True. Very true. Yeah. So this is. Clearly politics, clearly again trying to keep people away from a state. Craig, the next one is now they're not going to, if it's voting standards that they're going for and racism that they're going for, why has NAACP not banned Black Americans from or recommended they didn't ban anybody from going to Georgia? Is it Georgia the same demographic that they're fighting against, right? You have the voter laws.
Well, they could say the same thing about Colorado because Colorado's voting laws are just as bad. I mean, they're worse than Georgia's or Texas's.
Yes, they are, but not when you want to ban something and move it somewhere else. Evidently, Colorado gets a pass. I don't know why. So, unless it's a baseball game, right? Let's move on to New York. Craig, do you remember the new governor's name in New York?
I do not know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, neither do I. That's why I asked. Hochul, Kathy. Exactly. Hochul. It sounds like she's choking on something.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I won't. I won't say that joke. Go ahead.
So she's family show. She signed 3 bills into law this week here or there in New York. Wow, how long have I been out of New York, and I still say here in New York? And one of them addresses the rise of ghost guns, right? In New York State. Here she says, Craig, remember, here's the talking points. It's like, boom, she's been governor for 3 weeks now, and she's had her indoctrination classes, okay? Because she was an upstater, so she was one of those. To give you an example, like a Senator Joe Manchin kind of guy, like that, where her people might have, she might be a Democrat, but it's good old boys, and it's the rednecks of West Virginia. And listen, if you've ever been upstate New York, it's neck, baby, it's neck.
She's a little bit more of what you would call a blue dog Democrat. Used to be. Yeah. She's now part of the intelligentsia.
Exactly. She's a little more country than she is rock and roll. There you go. So she said gun violence is a public health and public safety crisis, right? Public health issue, right? Remember that's the talking point, right?
Right. That means that we can do whatever we want. It doesn't actually have to make sense, but if we say it helps, it helps. And you're just going to have to suck it up because we're dealing with a public health crisis.
Working with partners at all levels, my administration will continue to crack down on the distribution and possession of dangerous weapons and put an end to the gun violence epidemic. Well, Craig, according to her statement right there must be dangerous weapons roaming the streets day and night, looking to commit violence upon unsuspecting people.
Just so you know, folks, just so you understand, I don't want a weapon if it's not dangerous.
Yeah. I shall defend my property with this wet noodle.
It's kind of the point.
Oh, you got some of that in my eye. That's That's that. Again, this is the problem here, right? That this is all about gun violence. It's the gun violence epidemic. There's dangerous guns on the street. Well, then go get a big magnet and round them up. I don't know what to tell you. But if you really want to do something, why don't we talk about you having no bail in your state because it's illegal? How about we talk about you repeatedly allowing criminals out of jail? How about you repeatedly dropping firearms charges against people when they use a firearm in the commission of a violent act? How about we get to some real problems and we talk about the people that are committing the crimes as opposed to the tool that's being used?
Oh, see, there you go. There you go, preaching truth
for DUIs. You should not be going after guns for violent crime.
But Mike, the problem is this: is that if you actually solve the problem, then you have nothing to campaign on, right? If you actually put criminals in jail, well, I guess if you put the criminals in jail, then you can then call the people who run the jails or people who arrested them racist.
Yeah.
But now they're in a conundrum because now they're like, okay, you can't erase them. You can't arrest people because you're racist.
Yeah.
And you can't prosecute crimes because you're racist. But we can't go after the guns. We go after the guns because, anyone who owns guns is racist. Unless you're a criminal and own a gun, then you're a victim of racism.
I guess she hasn't figured out the formula. What they should do is take all of the criminals, right, and put them in jail. So you know where they are. They're not on the run. Put them in jail. Give them their 3 squares and a cot, right? And now pass voter reform, allowing them all to vote. And then you take them all and you make them all vote. So now you've taken the criminals off the street, and now you make them vote. And then guess what? They're in jail. Well, we'll just help you fill out your ballot, just like Democrats do, and they can control the vote. So that's what they would get.
I have a better answer, and I'll just say it in two words: Squid Games.
Is that the guy from SpongeBob?
Oh no! Netflix.
Oh.
Squid Games.
Oh, I have
not
not seen
Squidward. Squid Games.
I've seen Squidward. Yeah, I've seen Squidward. Yeah.
It's a show on Netflix. I think that if you allowed some of these individuals, the worst of the worst, to participate in Squid Games, I think you that would be my anser.
All right.
Once again, for the worst of the worst.
Check it out. Check it out on Netflix tonight, folks.
Check it out.
She also goes on to say, remember, because she's passing laws against ghost guns,
right?
So you can't have one, you can't make one, you can't possess one. So ghost guns have now just become illegal. And Mary, remember, folks, there's no such thing as a ghost gun. What you have is a firearm with no serial number that you purchased in frame form or receiver form and legally built out as your own firearm. People have been doing this since the dawn of firearms. It's allowed currently under federal law. You're allowed to do that. Now, the only time you're not allowed to do that is if you start making them and selling them, because this was meant for your own personal use, and you're not a dealer or a manufacturer.
Possession of one of these.
Yeah. If you want to be a dealer or manufacturer,
which they say an unfinished receiver without a serial number, right?
Yes.
So this is an unfinished receiver, right?
Yes.
So at what point is this considered the same as this? Because this came from this.
That's a 0% receiver.
This is a 0% lower.
Yep.
Right? And this is an 80, what's called to an 80% lower.
Right.
So at what point in between these two is this illegal, or do I need to go get a serial number for this, for a block of aluminum?
Well, there's a sticker on there that says 80%, so clearly it's illegal.
Well, but my question is, at what point in between? Oh, okay, so I'll take the sticker off. So does that now make it safe? I mean, that's what's idiotic about this is that they're going to have to come up with regulations that make this work. And I can tell you from experience, as soon as they determine, once they find a way to define this, right? Someone will go like this 80% lower. Someone will make a 79% lower.
Exactly right. Let me beat her up for a second or two more here. She says if you can't pass a background check to get a gun, then you shouldn't be able to get a gun. Okay, so what if my grandfather left me a firearm? Should I not be able to have that gun anymore? I didn't pass a background check for it. What if it was given to me as a present over the holidays from another relative? Should I not be able to have that firearm anymore because I didn't pass a background check for it? Oh wait, you mean those people know me and they know that I'm not a convicted felon, and we shouldn't have to involve the government in our everyday lives and processes of doing a firearms transfer so you can get your tax money out of it. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Um, and I'll give you the last thing she says in here because this drives me nuts. That these receivers, unfinished receivers, is a loophole. For far too long, it's been a loophole that lets anyone gets their hands on all the parts needed to build an untraceable, unregistered AR-15 without ever going through a background check. So, Greg, here's what I want to have. I want to have 40 or 50 of them around me at any given time.
Right.
And when the police show up and the governor shows up, well, are these your guns? Well, no, they're untraceable and unregisterable. I have no idea whose firearms these are.
Right.
I'm sorry. You can't.
You just told me
you can't prove who they belong to.
Look, do you see my hands on any of them? I am in possession of none of them.
Yep. You just told me you can't prove who they belong to or where they came from.
Right.
So if that's the case, I don't have a freaking clue.
Well, here's what's funny is they talk about this once again, this increase of their usage in crime. They're not being used in crimes. What's happening is they're arresting people and finding that they have like the receivers and whatnot. And by the way, possession is the primary crime that they're involved in. Is just the fact that you're not supposed to have them.
Yeah, right. When you see that, folks, make sure you're clear on that. When it says 80% of all crimes now involve ghost guns, that's because the only crime committed was the possession of the ghost gun.
Right. At least that's what's happening in California, and apparently that's what's going to start happening in New York. But what's also crazy about it is the only real reason I think that criminals have any idea or know about any of this is because they keep talking about it. They keep promoting and advertising home builds. Yes. And I'm like, you guys do know that you are literally, I mean, just like Democrats have always been the best marketers for the gun industry. Every time they start talking about banning something or how dangerous something is, people are going to go out and buy it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in New York.
Governor Cuomo, former Governor Cuomo, the alive former Governor Cuomo, not the dead former Governor Cuomo, he has... we talked about this. Remember, charges were submitted to the Albany County Sheriff's Office up there. The Albany County Sheriff's Office, I guess, submitted them to the district attorney. Well, the district attorney there in Albany County has decided to go forward with those charges. So the governor is now charged with a misdemeanor unlawful touching of a left breast there in Albany County. So listen, misdemeanor. You know what's going to happen. This is going to get pled down. He'll take a 20-hour sexual harassment class and be fine. But this will be this will be the example that they use. Oh, look, nobody gets off scot-free here. So this just means that the Albany prosecutor is going to be running for higher office at some point. So
pretty much.
Yeah. Let's get on to real business. Some important news now out of Florida. And, Craig, there's only a couple of good things in California, and Florida's trying to take one of them away from you. So I do love this, that in Florida, I want to make sure I say his name right, our chief financial officer, it's Jimmy Petronas. He's Florida's CFO. That's an elected position in Florida, by the way, the chief financial officer. So they whereas the legislature and the governor help set the budget, the CFO makes sure it's done legally. Legislature can't say, well, we want to give money to my pool boy. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's not how it works.
Yeah, in California, we call that the controller.
The controller, okay, it's the CFO,
which controls nothing.
Yeah, right. It's a good title, though, right?
Very good title.
Well, you've had problems, and we've discussed this with the InNOut burgers there in California. That with all of the additional regulations, where I believe now you have to have a vaccination card or a negative test to even go inside a restaurant. Is that still what's going on there, Craig?
I'm sorry. Ask that again.
If you go inside a restaurant now in California, you have to show, and I guess maybe it's by region and hotspots.
It depends on where you're at. It's specifically in municipalities like Los Angeles or San Francisco. If you want to dine inside, you have to show proof of vaccination. Here in Sacramento, that's not the case. So it all depends on what city or county you're in.
Okay, so we know that it's happened in San Francisco. We know that it's happened in Los Angeles, and I love this quote from the InNOut business managers, or the business officer. It says, "We refuse to be the vaccination police for any government,"
Right.
which is very nice. And listen, if you don't know what's her name? The owner of the In-N-Out Burger franchise is now it's she's like the third generation to own it. There's what is her name? She's 39 years old. She's a billionaire. She lives there in California. She routinely gives money to the GOP. She was a Trump supporter as well. And if you recall, 2 years ago or so, when that came out, that piece of information came out that they called for a boycott of the In-N-Out Burger, and all that did was make it
help them expand.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
It's once again, it's just, this is an example. Well, first of all, moving their headquarters to Florida financially and fiscally would just make total sense. I don't know why a company, a corporation, unless they had to, would be headquartered in the state of California right now. It is as anti-business as it gets, and they make it as difficult as possible to do business here. And I just think that they need to learn their lesson. California politicians need to learn their lesson. And, you look at even the left-wing tech giants are all moving out of California.
Yeah, everybody, right? They're moving down into Arizona, New Mexico, and into Texas.
Yep.
We see that. And then Utah as well. Montana, another one where they're running to.
Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho. Exactly right, yeah. I can't find her name here. This is driving me crazy.
Anyway, but yeah, In-N-Out is first of all, what's neat about In-N-Out is they cut the potatoes into fries like right there in front of you. They take the potato, they put it in, and it goes skunk, and then they drop it in peanut oil. So that you are getting fresh potato fries. Now you're not getting, something that's been stuck in a bag and frozen for a while. Although I will say that I still believe McDonald's French fries are the absolute best. The first 10 to 15 minutes they come out of that fryer, they are the best fries on earth.
Yeah, no disagreement. Lindsay Snyder, that's her name. Lindsay Snyder. Thank you for the text, folks, for helping me out. So yeah, this is nice. And you know what? In fact, Craig, I know we have a parting shot here, but let me see if I can't send you what I have in front of me at the moment as a picture, because I want to talk to you about the politics of In-N-Out Burger, and this is one of the reasons that they have been chastised, why they've been gone after. And let me see how quick I can get this one to you.
See, folks, this is movie. This is like internet movie film magic, where we are making it happen right here, live in front of you. Now, for those of you who don't know, they've always been known. In-N-Out has always been known for putting stuff at the bottom of their cups, and in the past, that was biblical scripture.
Yes,
they would very often do biblical scripture, but in this particular case, they have something else that is on the bottom of their cups, and I am working on getting.
Yeah, this is what's out there right now. So if you're in Texas, if you're out in Vegas, if you're out in California, out in the Southwest, in a Scottsdale, Phoenix area, and you can get to an In-N-Out Burger, because most people don't look at the bottom of their cup. Drink the cup, put it in the cup holder, toss it. This is underneath the cup, and this is what's underneath the cups right now. And it's got sign off by Lindsay Snyder. It's got sign off by all her staff. But she is clearly in control and political control. And I believe there's 350, 360, something like that of them, of the In-N-Out Burgers. Oh, and by the way, there are no franchises. It's all corporate owned, which is why this kind of thing can happen.
Okay, it ain't pretty, but here it is. Bam. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Now that's America right there.
America.
That's America. Now I've got to go get some In-N-Out Burger today.
Yep. There you go.
I am going to go.
Make sure you finish the drink before you turn it over, though.
Yeah, that can be a problem. Well, yeah, that can be a problem. Make sure you finish the drink. But I'm going to go get. I'm gonna go get. I think I'm gonna get a shake. Whenever I go there, I always get the shake instead of the soda.
No, you get you a double animal style.
Double double animal style,
Oh yeah.
extra onions
Oh
with the
yeah.
fries. Actually, animal style fries
Oh yeah. Yeah.
are the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the big deal. Also with InNOut, folks, is there's a secret menu.
Yep.
There's a secret menu. You got the
Exactly.
menu on the board, and
And
they got the secret menu.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't. By the way, you don't have to have like a minor in biochemistry to order like you do at Starbucks.
Yeah. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right. Well, that's good for In-N-Out Burger. Hopefully, we'll get one here in Florida, if not the entire headquarters operation. So that would be nice.
Well, that's one of the good things about Vegas is whenever we go to Vegas for shot, in and out.
Yep. That's it. It's it. The three different locations right around the convention center. We know where every one of them is. So, all right, let's move on to our parting shot of the day. We had a celebration this weekend of Halloween, which, by the way, should be celebrated by everyone because everybody should be wearing a mask, right? And
Right. Everyone's supposed to be wearing masks, so everyone should be dressed up for Halloween.
And this was a good little. It's nice to see. First off, Craig, before you pop it up, the political comments, the political cartoons have swung the opposite direction now. Remember,
Yes.
It was all Trump, anti-Trump, and hate Trump. Now,
Oh, it looks like we lost Mikey for a quick second. So now it looks like all of the comics now. We got Mikey back.
there we are. There we go. I'm sorry. Somebody tripped on the Cat 5 cable laying in my yard. Sorry.
Anyway, you were talking about that being anti-Trump, and now all of a sudden,
Yeah. So and now political cartoons are back to attacking both sides. I won't say just one side anymore, but at least they're turnabout. Everybody's fair game now.
exactly. So as your kids go out trick or treating, they might be confronted by the vaccine police.
Yes.
And telling them, guess what? If you're not vaccinated, then I can't give you any candy. Well, this cartoonist has an answer for that. No vaccination, no candy.
Yep.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's
go, Brandon.
I remember. Listen, I'm going to give you 99% chance odds that the little brother's name there is not Brandon. I'm just saying. I think Batman's got a special message for the vaccination police.
Exactly. God, doesn't that look like the governor of Oregon?
Yes.
She looks like the governor of Oregon.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay, that's our parting shot for today. All right, folks. Well, hey, it's been fun.
It's been real.
It's been Friday.
It's been a real fun Friday, is what it has been.
It's been a real fun Friday. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to visit our sponsors. Who are those guys again?
Guerrilla Machining, a Grid Defense, and of course our good friends at the California Republican Assembly.
Check them out. All of their links are in the description of this video. Check them out. Visit them. Buy something from them or join, and just let them know that the folks over at the Rundown sent you.
We'll be here Monday when you get back. Have a good weekend.
Right. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends to do the same.